Emily from Katie Bell Physiotherapy and Wellness. I'm bringing you today your half-term workout. This time we're going to be focusing on the upper body, neck and shoulders. Now, the first thing we're going to do is focus on some stretches. We're going to stretch in the hope that if we release and open the front of the chest, we can offset the tightnesses created by the slumped shoulders and pokey chin position. So hopefully by opening, lengthening here, we can set our shoulders back to help stack our posture better. We're going to do some exercises for mobility around the chest and the neck, and then we're going to finish with some strength challenges. If any of those exercises don't suit you at the moment, if you've got shoulder injuries or neck injuries, then feel free just to skip those out and come back to an exercise that you do feel is benefiting your body. Now, I'm going to start with some stretches. If you find that the stretches are too intense, you could use a tennis ball or a spiky ball at home and massage across the front of the chest instead. So you start at this corner right next to your armpit, working along that line, no lower, and up to the collarbone. You're going to work in this strip here, coming along the front, almost to the centre of the chest. So little circles, rolling in, pressing and rubbing to release that muscle. So that's a nice alternative if you don't like these stretches. So we're going to come against the wall. You either need a door frame or just a little space on the wall. We'll bring our hand out, so we'll bring it just below shoulder height. Our fingers are pointing to along the wall, and then we turn our body away. We're going to press and open through that chest, feeling the pressure around the chest and around the shoulder. We're going to keep our shoulders down and holding it here for about 20 seconds. So allow your breath just to relax. Allow that shoulder to open, feeling your shoulder blade glide back towards your spine. This is encouraging that posture. So you may feel a little bit of tension around the upper chest and armpit. Okay, let's walk our feet gently back round. This time I'm going to angle our fingers up in the diagonal, so pointing up to the corner of the room, and again turning round to the corner of the room, opposite corner of the room. So again, this is going to feel around the chest and armpit, but you may feel it in a slightly different place. With any of these stretches, if you start to experience numbness or discomfort in your fingertips, feel free just to ease off slightly so you reduce the stretch and the pressure into those nerves. Okay, 5 more seconds here. And then gently walk round. Okay, let's repeat that on the opposite side. So hand coming out to the side, walking round with the body, creating that length across the front of the chest. Use that breath just to guide you. So holding for those few deep breaths in and out, and then repeat. So we're aiming for about 6 deep breaths, or 20 plus seconds. Okay, when you're ready, let's start walking our feet back round to the wall and pointing our fingers up towards the corner of the room. Again, turning, rotating, feeling that stretch change to a slightly different area of the chest. With the breathing, send your out breath to where you're feeling the resistance, encouraging that muscle to soften and release so you can open up and improving your posture. Come back to the centre here. Okay, so from here, we're now going to do some mobility exercises. So we're going to stand on our mat, stacking our posture. So we want soft knees, lower back in neutral. Setting that posture is going to enable the neck and the shoulders to work optimally. So the right shoulder is going to shrug up, back, down, and we're going to go into our side bend. We hold it there for a breath in. Breathe out, sweeping round to the middle and peeling back up through your spine. Let's go to the opposite side. So shoulder up, back, down, rolling to the side, hold for the breath in, and peeling round. Let's come back up through that centre. Keep this movement going, feeling the shoulders mobilised, feeling that chest open. Also creating some length and stretch around the side of the tummy, and also a little bit of stability in the work there as you use that core switching on through that groin up to belly button. That's it, shoulder up and back down, opposite sides, and round. Okay, we're going to add in this time our mermaid stretch. So we're going to do our upper body roll. We're coming into a side bend, and this time we're going to carry on. Reach up to the ceiling with that hand, reach down to the floor with this hand. Big breath in. As you breathe out, sweep your arm across your body, peel yourself to the centre, and then release back up. Let's go on the opposite side. So shoulder shrugs up, back and down. We side bend and reach. So make these fingers reach apart. As you breathe out, sweep round across to the centre. Let's do that one more time on each side. So right shoulder shrugs up, back and down, side bending, reaching away. Big breath in, breathe out and sweep round. It's lovely mobility for the shoulder, but also for the back and the spine as well. So we're creating some length in those muscles to help you increase your movement. Fantastic, let's settle all the way back up here. Fantastic, so we've got this nice mobility now in our lower back and our shoulders. We're going to start talking to our shoulder blades now, asking them to work in the best possible way. Let's start with a very simple exercise called dumbwaiter. So we're going to cross our hands over and open out. Cross over, open out. So it's like your upper arms are the hinges of a door, and your forearms are the doors opening and closing. As you do this and you draw these hands apart, feel your shoulder blades close and draw together on your back. Hopefully you'll feel those shoulder blades come together and slightly down, like they're trying to sink into the back pockets of your trousers. We're going to take this now into our Cleopatra. So as we open here, we turn our palms down to the floor, we reach out into the corners of the room, then draw the elbows back, turn the palms over and cross over. Let's do that again. Turn, reach, draw in, turn and cross over. So don't lose this little corner here you're going to make with your elbows. Try and get that little tuck in with the elbows, especially as you come back here, so that we're not losing that lovely shoulder blade work. Okay, let's do one more of these. Open, reach, tuck, and relax there. Great, wonderful. So we're trying to get these shoulder blades waking up. Starting to ask them to work a little bit harder. We're going to come down onto the mat now. If you'd like to take a roll down, feel free to. We're going to come down onto the mat. We're going to do some mobility work for our chest and our shoulders. So peeling all the way through your spine, slowly rolling down towards the floor. If this is your first one today, take your time. Hold there for that nice stretch out the back of the legs. And then fold the knees, walking the hands down onto the mat. So we need to be in our hands and knees position. So we're creating a box from our wrists up to our shoulders, across and down. So on here we're going to do thread the needle. I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to reach it underneath, through, down onto the mat. I'm going to lower my shoulder to the floor, trying to keep my hips in the centre, not letting them come across. I'm going to keep them to the centre there, holding for the breath in, then breathing out, reaching through. This time I'm going to bring my arm up to the side, turning my body to the other side of the mat. I'm going to go again, so reaching through, lowering that shoulder down. Big breath in, breathe out, reach up and through. One more time on this side. Now if your shoulder doesn't get down to the floor, pop a cushion or a block underneath your shoulder. Try not to rest into your head and neck. Reaching the arm up and round and then lowering back down. Let's switch over onto the other side. So opposite hand this side. So we're thinking about shoulders down still, lower back in neutral. So we're going to take this left hand, reach it through along the floor, lowering the shoulder down as far as it will go, onto a block or onto the mat. As you breathe out, press through your right hand, sweeping that arm round, opening your chest to the opposite side of the mat. So we're creating this work around the tummy and the mid-lower back, as well as this work around the shoulder blade as well. So we breathe out to move. And then we hold on the in-breath. The last one here, up and round. And then back to the centre here. Now, I'm going to show you an alternative to your shell stretch, but can be done to increase shoulder and chest mobility. If it doesn't feel right for you, if it isn't comfortable for your shoulders, and you know that it's not right for how your body's working at the moment, feel free just to come into a shell stretch. And we're going to use this position to come in and out of our strength challenge that we're going into now. So your option number one is your normal shell stretch, bowing your forehead onto the floor, reaching those fingertips away, stretching out those shoulder blades and upper back. Option number two is you're going to lift your hips off your heels, sliding your hands further forward, and then bowing your chest down towards the floor. You may feel that you can make contact with your forehead, even your chest towards the floor, and you'll get a big stretch through your arms and through your shoulders and upper back. Hold it there for those few slow breaths, and when you're ready, slowly drawing back to shell stretch, whichever feels right for you. Okay, so those are your options to come to in between some of the strength challenges we're going to do. So the first strength challenge we're going to do is our staggered press-ups. Normally when we do press-ups, we have our hands at the same height on our mat. But rarely in life do we do movements where everything is all lined up perfectly. So I like to do a staggered press-up. So instead of having my hands here around my shoulder height, I'm going to move one slightly up and one slightly down. You will find with the hand that's lower down that your elbow will come down beside your body as you go up and down your press-up. The one that's slightly higher, you'll find your elbow goes more out to the side. So we're at these sort of almost right angles to each other. That's normal, and that's what we want to create. A little bit of asymmetry in the body, just to kind of replicate more normal movement for us on an everyday function. So, whether you're going to come into your box press up, your modified press up, or your full press up, I don't mind. Whichever one we're doing, we're thinking about lower back in neutral, shoulders back and down. We're going to stagger those hands into one up, one down. We're going to press up, push out, and then switch. Don't worry if you get a little bit of a rock as you switch between sides. So we're going to switch again. Thinking about letting that elbow come out to the side and the other elbow, the lower elbow, come behind you. So we're creating just a little bit of asymmetry, challenging those shoulder blades, thinking about that upper back and lower back staying neutral. We're going to do one more on each side. Switching those hands. Last one on this side. Switching over, pressing through. From here, bring your hands back to neutral here. Come down over into your shell stretch or forwards into your puppy stretch. Just for a moment there, just to release the upper body. All of those press-ups can be done, as I said, in box, where you'd be bowing your forehead and you're hinging from your hips, or into your modified, so we're coming into this kneeling position. All of them can be done in those positions, so please just modify it as feels right for your current strength levels. Okay, we're now going to go into downward dog. Fantastic yoga move that we do use a lot here at the studio. Fantastic for just building a little bit of upper body strength. I'm going to talk you through a few variations. So this is your last exercise, but we're going to have a few different components. So from your plank position, from your hands and knee position, it's like you're going to go up into your plank. You're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to lift your hips up to the sky and press down out through your hands. So a little recap of our downward dog position. We want our feet roughly hip distance apart. We want to try and not come out into your toes. Try and rest down. Don't worry if your heels do or don't make contact with the floor, but think about lengthening away through those legs. Lastly, think about bowing down through your chest, pressing away through the hands there. So we're creating a triangle from our fingers to our toes, up to our hips. Okay, so option number one is that you're going to come up into your downward dog and then come and rest down into hands and knees. And we're just going to take some time in and out of these positions. So we're creating this triangle, holding it there, trying to aim for a few slow deep breaths in and out. If this is new to you and this is quite challenging, just start with one breath in and out and then release down to the knees. So take this in your own time, lifting up. As you lift up and you start to get tired, try to bring those shoulder blades down and around the side of your chest. And let's do that one more time. If this is feeling challenging for you, I want you to stick with this level. Okay. Option number two now, where we're going to progress, we're going to come out into your plank. Again, set to that neutral straight away, and then straight back up again. Out to your plank. Straight back up again. Now, if you'd like something in between these two levels of full plank and also down to your knees, what you can do is you can come down to your knees, shift forwards into a modified plank, back to your knees, and then lift up. So I'll go through that. If not, you carry on going from your downward dog into your full plank. So you've either got knees up into downward dog, knees into modified plank, or dog up into your full plank as I'm doing now. So those are your three levels. So we do one more, whichever level you're choosing. Release the knees, come to your shell stretch. Okay, so final variation for us to do of our downward dog. As I said, if it feels too much, go to your stretch or pick one of the exercises we've already done. We're going to do our dog press up. This is one of my favourite press ups because it opens up the chest and it works a very different area of the shoulder. So you're going to come into your downward dog, so hands forward, tuck those toes under, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, and you're going to try and bring the crown of the head down towards the mat and then lift off. Elbows come out to the side. Hips are staying high, and you're just hinging over your toes. Great. So we're going to try and do 3 more here. 2. Can you do 1 more for me? Press out, reach those legs and reach through those arms, lift through those hips, fold down into your shoulder stretch, wrapping those arms around to come to child's pose. I want you to stay in this position. So you're going to stay down into that child's pose, just having a little bit of a breather, letting the body switch off. Well done. Feel free to stay here, continue doing the stretches that we've done. This is hopefully a nice combination of some mobility, some stretch and some strength work. If you've got time, why don't you go back and visit some of our other videos, putting a few together to make a full workout if you're missing your half-term workout. We'll see you all in the studio next week. Have a great half-term. Take care. Bye-bye.